All politics aside, if that's possible, this may be one of the high points in the tenure of President Biden. Mr. Biden, after a risky all-night train ride from Poland to Ukraine 2 nights ago, tonight speaking publicly in Poland and making the case in no uncertain terms why Russia will not and cannot take over Ukraine. Biden trying to walk a very thin line. The U.S. is not at war and certainly not with the Russian people. Eyewitness News anchor Joe Torre is here now with the very latest. Joe?
Bill, in the crowd soaking up every word uttered by the president, Polish citizens and Ukrainian refugees. As Russia's invasion of Ukraine nears the one-year mark, President Biden highlighted the resolve of the Ukrainian military and its people. But the White House also hopes the president's visit to Kyiv and Warsaw bolsters resolve in America and across the globe.
There should be no doubt. Our support for Ukraine will not waver. NATO will not be divided, and we will not tire.
President Joe Biden delivered a defiant declaration at the Royal Castle in Warsaw, a promise of resilience that neighboring Ukraine will not fall.
Ukraine will never be a victory for Russia. Never.
The president called for steadiness of purpose days before the first anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
President Putin ordered his tanks to roll into Ukraine. He thought we would roll over. He was wrong.
Biden last spoke from the storied setting in March of 2022, when the resolve of Ukraine and the strengthening of the NATO alliance were only beginning to emerge. The resolve underscored by President Biden's historic trip to Kyiv as he stood side by side with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Monday. While in Moscow, Russian President Vladimir Putin framed the contours of the conflict as an existential battle with the West.
The elite of the West do not conceal their ambitions, which is to strategically defeat Russia, finish us off once and for all.
Putin announced Russia will suspend its participation in the New START treaty, the last major nuclear arms agreement between the United States and Russia. Back in Poland, the president focused on future generations and what remains at stake.
Freedom, the enemy of the tyrant, and the hope of the brave and the truth of the ages. Freedom.
Now today, as Vladimir Putin delivered his address, news broke of 6 deaths and more than a dozen people injured in a Russian attack in Kherson, Ukraine. The mounting death toll and the widespread destruction underscore a painful reality acknowledged by the White House. There is no clear near-term endgame to the war in Ukraine.